Hi guys, today we're going to be reviewing the card game Canopy. Now in Canopy, you're going to essentially be building a rainforest full of trees, full of wildlife, full of plants, and in some cases, some hazards like fire and drought. So let's check it out. So what you're going to be doing in this game is you're going to be drawing cards from these new growth piles over here, and you're going to be adding them to your little section and trying to score some points. So you've got different things. You've got plants, you've got trees, you've got wildlife, and then you also have weather, and then you also have threats. So I'm going to just go you some of the cards that are in the game. Each person is going to receive a trunk to begin with. And one thing that you can do is you can add trunks to this trunk to make taller trees and score higher points. At the end, you can put a canopy on top of these like so, and this is going to complete your tree. The way the scoring works is you're going to go ahead and count this one's worth 2. And then what you're going to do is go up here and then count them again, only with a different scoring system. This is 2 points per trunk. So then I'll have a 2 for that and 2 for that. Now you're also going to receive a tallest tree award at the end of each round, and there's going to be 3 rounds. So if you can get the tallest tree, then you'll be able to score some more points. Here's some of the other cards. We've got the rain and the sun card. These cards go together. If you are able to collect these, they'll be worth 5 points. Here's an example of some wildlife. There's 2 different wildlife cards of the same animal. One's going to have point values on there, meaning if you get 1, you'll get 2 points. If you get both, you'll get 5. And the other one is simply going to have an ability on it. This particular one says once per season, for each canopy you have, draw 1 card from the season deck and then add 1 of these to your forest. So most of those cards are going to have an ability. And there's a bunch of different animals as well. Here's another plant. This is a monstera. It kind of works the same way as the other plant, only you won't score anything until you get 3 or more of these. This is going to be worth 8 points. Here's another one. This is an interesting card. If you discard this card, you'll be able to change it to one of these different categories, which can help you score more points. And I'll show an example here. For example, here's a bromelia. So if you get 1, it's worth 2. If you get 2, it's worth 7. But if you get 3, it's going to be worth -3. So what I could do is I could combine these 2 cards in order to get the 7 points. Here's a seed card. What this is going to do at the end of the round, you're going to be able to draw 3 of these seed cards over here. And depending on how many you'll have, that's how many you'll be able to keep. And the seed cards are basically going to be more of the cards that you have in your hand, but you could possibly score more points with them. Here's another one. This is an orchid. Essentially, for this one, it scores 4 points, but you just have to have an even amount of sun and rain cards in order to do this. And then you're also going to have some threats. Here's one. This is a fire. With a fire card, if you get 2 of these, you're going to have to discard 2 cards from your forest. However, if you have 3, you're going to have to discard 1, and then your opponents are going to have to discard 1 as well. Here's a disease card. Works similar to the fire card, only you're going to have to do that with wildlife. So if you got 2 of these, you would have to discard 2 wildlife. Then you have the drought. The drought is a card that works immediately. So if you get it, you're going to have to go ahead and discard 1 card. Now, these can actually be helpful because an example would be with this bromelia over here. Let's say you ended up having 3 bromelia that you collected, and that's going to be worth -3. Well, if you ended up getting the drought card, that could actually take away one of the plants, and then you would end up getting the 7 points. So you can use these cards to help you, but it can be a little tricky because you could lose stuff too. So anyway, let's go ahead and just kind of show the way the game works. Now you're going to be doing 3 rounds in this, and you've got 3 stacks here. And whenever you end up this season, you'll go ahead and draw all the cards. Then you'll go to this deck, and then you're going to go to this deck. Now, the way scoring works is you're going to go ahead and score everything except for the wildlife. The wildlife is going to be saved for last. When it's your turn, you're going to have a choice. You can choose between this deck, or this deck. Now, this has 1 card, this has 2, and this has 3. So what you're going to do is you're just going to look and see what it has. This has a sun card, but I'm like, I think I'm going to pass. So I'll go to this one over here. This has a canopy and a trunk. That's pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and put this here, and then I'm going to put the canopy on here. That canopy is always going to go onto the tree trunks. So what I'm going to do is, since I passed on this pile, I'm going to add a card, and then I'm going to go ahead and replenish this back up to 2 cards, and then it'll be my opponent's turn. So let's just say he goes, and he ended up taking pile number 3. I'll go ahead and put 1 here, and then put 3 more cards to replenish. So now I'm going to go ahead and take my turn. So I'm going to look at these cards here. We have a sun, a golden bird eater, and a fern. It's pretty good. Why not? I'll take that. So I'm going to go ahead and put these over here like so. And I'll replace this card, and it goes back to my opponent. let's say my opponent ends up taking a card from here. You can actually pass on all three of these piles and then pick this one up. Let's just say he does that. So once again, since it's my turn, I'm going to go ahead and add cards, and I'm going to go ahead and look again. We got a fire and we got a bromelia. I think I'll pass on those. Right here, we actually have two of these pieces of wildlife here. I'll definitely take this. This is worth 5 points, and then I'm going to get an ability. So I'm going to go ahead and put these down here. And so I also have a seed card, which I'll put here, and I can get for later, and then the rain card. So this is essentially the way the game is going to go ahead and work. So to kind of just show you how scoring works, first thing you're going to do is score your activate any end of season effects for your wildlife. This one does not have an end of season, and I did not, and neither does this one. So I'm not going to fool with that. Seeds, it says draw 3 cards per fire card. So I have 1 seed card, so that's going to allow me to draw 3. And it says +1 per fire card. I have 2, so that's going to allow me to draw 2 more. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and look at these and see if I want to keep any. Let's just say I take the Monstera. And so I'll go ahead and discard the rest of these, and that will take care of that. Next up is the threats. So right now I'm going to have to discard 2 cards. This card I've gone ahead and discarded. So let's just say I've got only 1 sun card here, so I'll get rid of that. And I'll get rid of this card too, since it's not worth anything. So that will take care of that. And the fire cards are going to go too. So next up is the trees. I'm going to score the completed trees, and I'm going to mark them. Now I'm going to go ahead and score the tree with a wildlife token here, and then we're going to score the tallest tree bonus. And so let's just say I ended up winning the tallest tree bonus, so I'll put that there. Now it's going to go up for the second round 4 points, third round 5 points. Plants and weather, score all plant and weather cards. So I've got these 2. That's going to be worth 5 points. So I'll go ahead and give myself 5 points for that. And I'm going to score the plant cards as well. So right now I have 3 ferns. So that's going to be 6 points. I'll go ahead and put 6 points there for myself. Then I also have bromelia there, which is 7 points. So I'll go ahead and give myself 7 points. Now that I've done that, I'm going to go ahead and do cleanup, and I'm going to discard all the cards except for the trees and the wildlife. So I'm going to discard these cards right here, but I'm going to keep the points, and I'll discard these cards as well. By this time, all these cards will have been cleared out. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and start the second round, and we're going to repeat the process until we get to the third round, and then we're going to do it again. The only difference with the third round is we're going to go ahead and score all of the wildlife that we got. You're also going to score for the largest forest as well. You'll score points for that. But essentially what you're going to do is you're going to score all of the points you've gotten from your plants, from your wildlife, from bonuses, and all that. And then whoever ends up having the most amount of points at the end of the game is going to win it. Set collecting games are games that I like a lot. And so it's no surprise that I really enjoyed Canopy. Canopy has a lot of different things. It has the threat cards, which can alter your score, but it can also help you get rid of cards too if you play them right. You've got animals that have special abilities. You got different event cards. Like I didn't show cards like lightning. That's an event card that can change up things for sure. And you've got a whole myriad of different types of cards that you can use in this game to try to score. A lot of different awards as well. You've got the tallest tree award. You've got the largest forest award. So yeah, there's a lot of different ways that you can score in this game. This game is also simple to learn. It's not a hard game to learn. You're essentially going to be just drawing cards from the middle and just trying to figure out which ones you want to keep. And yeah, it's a good game. I think anybody who enjoys set collecting games should definitely check this out. Or anybody who is big into the rainforest or into wildlife, I think should check this game out too. It's a solid game. All right, guys, that's my review of the game Canopy. We'll catch you later. Keep on gaming.